It only took 15 seconds for a quiet dinner to turn into a moment no one in that restaurant would ever forget. A single dad stood up, placed his napkin on the table, and stepped between a woman and two men who thought they could do whatever they wanted. What happened next wasn't loud or flashy, but it was powerful enough to freeze the entire room. Most people thought he was just another tired father trying to enjoy a rare night out. They had no idea that kindness, courage, and years of discipline were about to collide in the most unexpected way. Before the story begins, take a second to support the channel. If stories about real human kindness move you, please like this video, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments. This is Kindness World, and your support helps us share more stories that remind us there's still good out there. The restaurant was busy for a Friday night. Soft music played in the background, glasses clinked, and waiters moved quickly between tables. At one small booth near the window sat a man in his mid-30s and a little girl with curly hair and bright eyes. The man was Mark. He was a single dad who worked long hours and rarely treated himself or his daughter to eating out. This night was special. It was his daughter Lily's birthday. Mark watched Lily carefully as she colored on the kids' menu. His eyes had that familiar look of a parent who had learned to be both mother and father at the same time. Tired, but deeply present. Protective, but gentle. Across the room, a woman sat alone at a table, scrolling on her phone while waiting for her order. She looked uneasy, like she was aware of being watched. Two men stood near the bar, laughing too loudly. At first, no one paid them much attention. But then they moved closer to the woman's table. Their voices dropped, their bodies leaned in. The woman stiffened. She smiled nervously, clearly trying to be polite while signaling discomfort. One of the men blocked her view of the exit. The other leaned too close. People noticed. They always do. But like most moments of discomfort in public, everyone hoped someone else would step in. Mark noticed too. He saw the woman's hands tighten around her phone. He saw the forced smile, the eyes searching the room for help. Lily tugged on his sleeve and asked him a question about dessert, but Mark's attention was already somewhere else. He stood up slowly. He didn't rush. He didn't shout. He simply walked over and placed himself between the woman and the two men. "Hey," he said calmly, his voice low but steady. "She said she wants to be left alone." The men laughed. One of them smirked and looked Mark up and down. "Who are you supposed to be?" he said. "Her boyfriend." Mark shook his head. "No. Just someone asking you to step back." The tension in the air was thick. The restaurant had gone quiet. Forks paused mid-air. Waiters froze. The woman's eyes filled with fear and relief at the same time. One of the men took a step forward, puffing out his chest. "You got a problem." Mark didn't raise his voice. He didn't threaten. He simply stood his ground. "I don't want a problem," he said. "I want you to leave." That's when it happened. In less than 15 seconds, everything changed. The man reached out, grabbing Mark's arm, trying to shove him aside. Mark moved without thinking. His body reacted before his mind did. He twisted gently but firmly, breaking the grip, stepping into a position that instantly controlled the situation without hurting anyone. The movement was clean, efficient, trained. The man stumbled back, shocked. The other attacker froze. His expression shifted from confidence to confusion. Mark looked at them, still calm. "I'm asking you one last time," he said quietly. "Walk away." One of the men muttered under his breath, "What are you, military or something?" Mark paused for half a second. "Navy," he said. "Former." The color drained from their faces. They didn't argue. They didn't laugh. They turned and left, disappearing out the door as quickly as they had appeared. The restaurant exhaled. The woman was shaking. Mark turned to her, his voice soft now. "Are you okay?" She nodded, tears spilling down her cheeks. "Thank you," she whispered. "I didn't know what to do." Mark smiled gently. "You don't owe me anything." From across the room, Lily watched her dad with wide eyes. When Mark returned to the table, she hugged him tightly. "Daddy," she said, "you're a hero." Mark laughed quietly and kissed the top of her head. "No, sweetheart," he said. "I just did what was right." The manager comped their meal. A few strangers came over to shake Mark's hand. Some thanked him. Some just nodded with respect. But the moment wasn't about praise. It was about something deeper. Kindness doesn't always look soft. Sometimes it looks like courage. Sometimes it looks like stepping into discomfort so someone else doesn't have to stand alone. Mark never told Lily about the years he spent training, the discipline, the sacrifices. What he wanted her to learn was simpler. When you see someone in trouble, you don't look away. As they left the restaurant, the woman stopped Mark one last time. "Because of you," she said, "I'll never forget that strangers can still care." Mark smiled. "Pass it on," he said. And that's how kindness works. Quietly. Powerfully. One choice at a time. If this story moved you, let it remind you that you don't need a uniform to protect someone. You just need a heart willing to act. Go out today and be that person. Spread kindness wherever you are.